Welcome back to Rabid Noise on RABID Radio. Joining me on the program now is the one and only Ripchord from Circus of Dead Squirrels. Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Hola.
You're just about to release the album TPCM2 Judgment Day, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to the release. So the original of it is hard to get, is that right?
Oh yeah, it's a pretty rare find, and this is a much better version of that anyway, so if you didn't catch it the first time, this is definitely the one to have.
We've thrown a couple of extra things on there, like a couple of extra tracks and a couple of covers.
Yep, we got 4 new songs and 2 cover songs, and we also threw on a couple things that we've done through the years that we just never released on an album. We got a Christmas song, the X-Files theme song, just an instrumental. So it's actually 20 tracks, so it's pretty loaded.
Yeah, there's heaps on there. Yeah, that's awesome. And the song that you released from it, Mild Irritation, the lyrics are very relatable, and it's a lot like overpopulation annihilation. It sort of reminds me of the, It
absolutely is, and it's funny you say that because that's why I called it Mild Irritation, because an overpopulation annihilation was a little more of the bigger issues that piss you off. This one was just the little things in life. And in fact, I wanted to call it Little Things, but I kept thinking of Bush. I don't know if you remember that song way back in the 90s. I was like, I'm sure a million other people have called songs Little Things, so I thought Mild Irritation was a little more unique.
There's a few things in there that do really piss me off, though.
They're all legitimate reasons to be pissed off, but they're just things in the scheme of things. Yeah, you could brush it off, but they still drive you nuts,
Yeah, for sure. Well, what about, when it comes to your approach on writing lyrics, do you have to take yourself away and sit down to write, or do you just collect them as you go?
Yeah, I have to find some very magical place to go to in my head, like you kind of riding unicorns and over rainbows, pots of gold, When I'm not having one of those days, I usually just think of the stuff when I'm laying in bed. Usually when I have to get up very early in the morning, but if I get my best ideas at the most inconvenient moments, I jump out of bed, write it all down. I mean, sometimes it comes to me easily, but a lot of times it just comes to me at random places. So it works, but sometimes I wish I could just sit down and do it, but that's the process.
Do you find that as you said, sometimes comes to you randomly, that it's always at the worst times where you'll be driving or you'll be I always find that when I go to write and I just have to get my phone out and push the record button and scream it into the phone and listen to it later.
Oh, you're better than me. I don't take it that far. That's what I should do. I usually, I have to, it's just the vocal approach, like the actual rhythm of the vocals, I'll think about later when I can, that's what I'll sit down and do that. But as far as the lyrics, a lot of times I'll have to pull over on the side of the road and jot something down. Or I remember one of our albums, Pop Culture Massacre, I wrote that whole thing hiding. I used to work at a hotel during the time of that album. And I hid in like a boiler room with all, the heating and everything, and I wrote most of that record in there while I was at work.
That's awesome. What a perfect place to write,
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it definitely had the atmosphere for being dark. But I remember thinking, I'm actually a paid musician because I'm getting paid hourly to write this album. Cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, the theme of your previous album, Operation Satan, was your personal views on animal cruelty. How difficult was that for you to write about?
Well, it was actually pretty difficult. It was the kind of thing, I've always been aware of well, not completely aware, but I've always known, obviously that slaughterhouses and animal testing and all these different things, the entertainment industry, how horrible they are to animals. But it's so easy to kind of not think about it or, ignore the things when you hear about it. Don't, turn the channel when something comes on. And something just hit me one day, and I just wanted to confront it, and just so I could feel good about the decisions I made personally, and it ended up hitting me so hard that I just wanted to, dedicate an entire record to it and actually try to help, actually have some of this money going to these charities that are actually doing something to change this. So it was very difficult to learn more about that stuff and to have to watch a lot of these horrible things, but I'm glad I did it. It's changed me as a person, and hopefully it's made an impact on other people as well.
Have you had a lot of feedback from it where a lot of people have sort of said that it's affected them positively? After
Yeah, I
listening to the
actually
album?
have. I really have, and that was a pleasant surprise. I just wanted people to be a little more, conscious about the decisions they're making. And a lot of people wrote me saying that, they can't eat pork anymore after, looking into it after hearing some of these songs. So, I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan myself, but I just, and I think I had a few people that kind of got on me about that, like, oh, you really expect people not to eat meat and this and that. And that's not what we were saying at all. So, they're obviously taking the extreme approach to the things I was saying. I just want people to be more aware there's always better choices to be made.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. Well, the song of that album, Puppy Mill Madness, it's just, as I've said before, it's insane in terms of arrangement. How did you approach writing that song?
Well, it just, we've done it on all our other albums. We always have some kind of, at least one really kind of whacked out, almost, cinematic type of song. So even with the content being much more serious all around on Operation Satan, I still wanted to do something fun like that. So, and it was also a great opportunity for me to get everybody that was involved writing, recording on the album to, have a moment where they were able to, say something in one of the voices. So yeah, we just had a lot of fun with it. I actually wrote it like a script, and we played around with a lot of like cartoon sound effects, things like that, and it came out really cool.
That would have been an absolute blast to work on, because it's like the possibilities are endless when you're working like that. Have you got more songs like that you're working on at the moment?
Not at the moment, and we didn't really do anything like, we only had 4 new tracks, so we didn't do anything like that, but I'm not sure if we'll do that again on the next full length that we're actually working on right now, because it might, I don't know. I can never tell because it's too early in the process. We're still writing the actual music, but it might be a little bit more serious tone. So I don't know if we'll get a song like that, but not the last of them, just maybe not in the next album.
Awesome. Well, I first heard you guys thanks to a friend of mine, Dre, who is also a big fan of CODs. And the first song I heard was 8-Bit Piece of Shit off Indoor Recess, and I've been a fan ever since. Looking back at your albums over the years, do you have a personal favorite yourself?
Personal favorite album or song?
Both.
Well, okay, that's tough. I mean, I like Operation Satan's content the most, and I'm most proud of that album just because of, it being more important than me or CODs. But I actually prefer Pop Culture Massacre. I think that sums us up as a band the most, our sound and, what we do. So I'd say that's my favorite album, and my favorite song. I mean, I have a lot of them, obviously, but I'd say my very favorite song is probably Overpopulation Annihilation, or maybe Happy Mealworm.
They're great songs, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. See, that album, that album I just had on loop for a long, long time. I really got into it, and especially the song Losing Touch was, my favorite off the album. It's solid, but, Operation Satan it's right up there with it. It's got some awesome tracks as well.
That one's metal. It's metal.
It's metal.
It's pretty tame compared to what people would think is metal, but for us, that's metal. That's about as heavy as we get, so far at least.
No, I think it's some pretty heavy stuff. Like, I would class it as metal, but it's got so much more than just your normal run-of-the-mill metal. It's got so many layers about CODs that's what attracted to me to your music. Is it's just not guitars, drums, screaming. It's got a message behind it, and also so many different layers and sounds going on. It's brilliant.
I like that. Thank you. I'm going to use that. You mind if I quote you on that?
You can quote me on that. Yeah, definitely. So what are your plans for CODs after the release of TPCM2?
We're going to Disneyland.
Really?
Oh yeah, we're going on vacation. We're going to go to Disneyland, then we're thinking about going to Mexico. We're just going to live it up, man. We worked our ass off for this record. We figured we deserve it. We're going to go on a cruise across Europe and then just sail into the high seas into heaven. That's it. That's the end of CODs. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to, we're already starting to work on a full length album right now. We got about 13 tracks that are started, at least. We got to do a lot of, finalizing. But yeah, we're going to be releasing that next year, hopefully springtime, and we're going to be doing some touring this year in the summer, in the fall. So yeah, we're going to stay busy. I got a couple other projects that I'm starting with a few other people that have been involved with the band through the years.
Awesome, man. What's the other project called, or hasn't got a name yet?
Well, we don't have a name. I mean, and I'm kind of on the fence of it sounds so different than, well, not so different, but it doesn't sound exactly quite like CODS that I'm not sure if I'm going to call it, if it's going to be an official CODS album or if we're just going to call it something different. But, I actually got a couple projects that I'm working, slowly, just here and there. I don't know when they're going to be released, but, stuff sounded really cool. One's, actually probably a little heavier than CODS, and the other one's a little more experimental, acoustic guitars, kind of like old 70s horror, soundtracky kind of stuff going on.
That sounds amazing, man. That sounds like it's going to be
cool. Just trying to do some different stuff,
Yeah, keep it fresh, I guess, for yourself, like with your writing and,
Absolutely.
Not locked into one thing.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I definitely hope to see you guys tour down here as well in the near future. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
Oh, man, we'd love to.
You guys had an absolute blast, man, and everyone would love to see you guys live. So, I definitely hope that happens in the near future. So,
yeah, me and you both. We'll make it happen. I don't know when, but it's going to happen before I die.
Yeah, let's do it, man. We will. We'll put the feelers out there and we'll make it happen for sure.
As long as if you can take care of everything for us, we can stay at your crash with you for about 3 weeks. As long as you're cool with that, we can eat your food.
Fridge is all yours, brother.
All right. There, man. We'll be there next month. We're going to get our, well, actually, no, we got to get our passports. We'll see in what, like 5 or 6 years? Is that how long it takes now?
Yeah, I think it does, yeah. But at least better late than never.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the track Mild Irritation off your new album, DPCM2 Judgment Day, and we'll follow that up with my personal favourite, Losing Touch off Pop Culture Massacre. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us tonight, and I wish you the very best of luck with CODS and all your future plans.
Thank you very much, and hopefully maybe we can do a show together someday. That would be something, right?
That would be awesome, dude. That would be
Fingers crossed. We'll see you someday, man. Thank you very much, and we'll talk soon.